Great. So, you are all there, yeah? Of course, those who are not there cannot say, yes, we are not. We can continue now with the most wonderful part, usually the most wonderful part of webinar, which I always like to speak about it personally and in live, because it shares so much energy, showing to people what they can do once they find inside of a lucid dream. And capabilities and what you can do is something which maybe would draw a few days of wonderful techniques and methods of how you can go deeper and deeper in a dream. Sometimes we can use it for some other webinars because this is practical for beginners. Simply we would take a month in this way, especially when English it's not my native language. So when you reach state of sleep paralysis, the first thing you need to remember, not to stay in this place much longer than you need. How much is ideal time? 10 seconds. Each second more, your body is building autoimmunity, wanting you to get awake, but in the same part there is no mechanism which your mind can give you a dream because you're awake. And this paradox will give the most horrific nightmares that you are aware. The sense of fear and sense of this kind of terrific horror atmosphere which you have in your childhood, if you remember when you invoke spirits, waiting for them to come, and this kind of expectation, but in one horror kind of sense, will start to grow in your mind in billionths time greater mood. Now, it is good to experience because your mind knows exactly what you are afraid of. Even if you don't feel any fear, you just think that you don't have fear, but your mind perfectly knows what you are fear, not now, maybe when you were a child, because that mind will be released in the moment of sleep paralysis. You will have direct connection toward everything that you experience from the very beginning of your birth. So in the beginning, just get the fuck out of your body. Don't think, no matter how wonderful sounds there is, no matter how wonderful you're felt, and you will feel very good because you will lose connection to your body. You will lose connection that you have skin, that you have sense. You will be a point in the nothingness which is very awakened. And these feelings could be very pleasant. Don't do that. There is a time for pleasantness. Just get out of it. One of the best way to get out of the body, and believe me, there are people who lose, let me say, half of their life not knowing how to escape from the body, which will trap your soul like a black hole of gravitation with so hard strings that simply it would be not possible. Why? Because most of people think that movements are those who will give them possibility to move in a dream. But in a dream, when your mind was so little, when you were a child, there is no time for ligaments and muscles. So there is no memory of movement. There is memory of tactile trying to move, but as you were a baby, there is no legs. You will not have arms. You don't have the memory of doing this because you didn't do that. So there is no way that you will escape from the body in a way that you would escape like you are growing up. You need to trick your mind to give him some kind of movement which will be hard enough so it can move you in a dream, but in the other way be very small so your reactive mind don't put an alarm and wake you up. This is what I call phantasmagorical a movement, which is movement not with your body but with your mind. Now what we need to do, it is very simple. I will show you just example how you can try this movement even in the awake state, so it will be easy for you to imagine that movement. Please never use visualization in the out of the body experience. Visualization is something which will divert you from attainment. There is no usage to visualize anything when you are trying to attempt. Any and only sensation that you need is a tactile sensation of touch, never of seeing. Seeing will give your mind, once you attain rapid movement, so it can give you as a consequence of reaching your Buddhahood, the state of your mind working in the best way in your fucking life. So don't try to do that. It will come as a result. Don't worry. So don't need to visualize that you are doing in picture. You need to feel it. You don't need the eyes at all, because in that period of sleep paralysis, it will be totally black without any visual information, because your mind still, it's not giving you visual, thinking that you are not ready to dream. You need to pass some time so it can finally release the final frontier and the final bricks and the walls tower visual field, when you will see visions before your eyes exactly in a manner like you are seeing me like this now. It will be no difference. It will even be much more real in a real lucid dream. So this is what I do. Watch me. I am using rocking motion like a lullaby of my selfhood, a lullaby of a star, but not in this. I'm starting using this, and now I will lower the amplitude by double. Still you see my physical movement, and I have sense of very pleasant rocking motions which will give me a sleep time. You know, when you are hush your baby, it is the same movement which is inside of all of our brain, because all of us were baby in one. Now I'm lowering more, but I still have the same sensation. No matter how lowering the amplitudes, the sensation of movement, it's the same. Now I am totally stopping movement, but trying to imagining that my head is moved, and I'm feeling it inch by inch. You see, I'm not moving, but my mind produces the tactical imagination and sensation that I am moving. It is very easy. Just close your eyes and start to move a millimeter, but not millimeter physically. You will sense, you will feel seconds before your muscle is moving, you stop. Millimeter by millimeter. And start to increase. And you will during time have sensation that your head is rocking. It is easy. You don't need to felt it perfectly. You just need to do it in your tactical imagination. Now, because your adrenaline and serotonin don't let you go out in the blackness of a dream, because you are part of the wake world, you will have this very small sensation and that's it. But when you do this in a sleep paralysis, you will have sensation that you have really moved, because you don't have a real body at all, meaning that you don't have a real muscle at all. The will for rocking movement will give you rocking movement. The body needs will before muscle, but in a lucid dream, in a sleep paralysis, you don't have a muscle. So will for tactical movement will give you impression and sensation. You will feel the pulling like you are in a roller coaster. You will be very, very excitement in that part. Now you need to do this a couple of seconds, especially with the head. Now, about the movement, don't move any parts of the body. Move the head. There is a two-way, left and right, like you are in the mud, in the living sand. You want a little by little to get out of a living sand, but not too quickly, because you will drown. You need a little by little and increasing the amplitudes more and more. And you will feel that you will be connected with your body with some glue, with some strings. This is your mind pretending and stopping you. This is your mother telling you, please stay in your house with your mother. I don't want you to let you go. This is you projecting sensations that you want to stay in your body, not to go to the other world. And the sensation, it's so wonderful that most of you will be awake when this happens. You will be so much excitement that no matter how physically you are passive, you will be moved by mentality. So, the timing about physical movement. And yes, the second way, it's forth and back. Forth, for me, it is the best. Forth and back. And if you see when your body is paralyzed, you can still move your head. So this kind of movement is especially important and normal in that period, but please don't move physically. Although you will felt that you will be moved physically. Audio hallucination, all kind of hallucination will be so much overrated that it will be very strange for you. You will hear voices of your mother, of your neighbor. You will see a fire and policemen coming, yelling at you that you must leave apartment because there is a fire in the house. You will hear your daughter screaming that some spiders attack her. Just keep with the amplitude rising more. Don't take attention to it. Don't listen, because if you put attention, your mind will drive you from the path, and you will soon finish your experience without getting out of the body. Your whole, only one goal, it's to reach amplitude like in a rocking chair, and you will see when you reach that point where you need only one thing to do: to fall blasted from the amplitude out of your body, out of your bed. Exactly the same strategy like in wakening from the dream. Remember, go out of it, because your bed is the cage that your mind think it is the strong fortress of your dormant nature. You need to project the trick that you want to fly over so you can fall on the floor. It will be so easy that you will really felt without any visual that you are on the floor. You will feel that you fall on the floor, but if you open your eyes in that moment, you will return with the shock in your body. Don't open the eyes, because you don't have an eyes. If you want to open your eyes, it will signal your mind that you want to be a part of a real world. So yes, your mind will open the eyes, your physical eyes. So don't give false information to your mind, because still it is the control of it. You need to bypass it, like escaping from a prison. You want to find a path so the guardians will never see you. You must be clever, fast, and very wise, and very fast. Really, really very fast. If anybody told you that you need an hour, 2 or half of night trying to achieve separation, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. You will, in spirituality, you will never have anything to do more than a couple of minutes. Of course, if you know what you're doing at all. So, from the moment that you awake yourself to the moment that you fell on the floor, you will see how wonderful this world will be. World between, like limbo, will last maybe 2 minutes, 100 seconds, no more. There is a couple of mistakes that your mind will always try to produce, and so you can divert from the path. First, you need to do this movement at least 1 minute. No matter how much you think that all this is just a fairy tale without any sensation that anything is happening, this is all in 90%, it is just an illusion in you. It is his mind giving you wrong impressions that nothing is happening. Just continue with these rocking sensations, totally chilled, without any expectation, and you will be released in any moment, and you don't know when that moment will be. So don't expect that you will felt from the start that you will get out of the body. No, no, no. At least 1 minute. Sometimes after 50 seconds of working very patiently, I don't feel anything. Anything. I literally wanted to quit, because I thought I don't hear sound, I don't hear anything, and simply I wanted to get out, simply to stop. But in the last few seconds of this 1 minute, when I thought that it was impossible, I felt this very wonderful feeling of strings and everything, and I knew that all time I was in an ideal moment, but I didn't recognize it. My mind built a false illusion, false lucid dreaming, that I don't have a lucid dream. So it is not up to you to decide Is it ideal or not? Just do the whole procedure like a stupid soldier. 1 minute without thinking how good or bad it is. When 1 minute, because it will be internal time, but when you say it is finished, if nothing happened, then you are quitting. You are not quitting meanwhile, because you are achieve nothing. Never. Any second, any time, lucidness and sleep paralysis can grow in billions times bigger. 1 second you will be there without any chance of success, and other second you will hear something and you will feel that you are in glue, and that you will experience full success. So you need a practice, because all this, it's tactical imagination, and don't try to find perfect sensation. Just to feel that something is happening. Yeah, you will feel. Just go repeat, increase amplitude. When you reach final, just throw yourself out, and you will fall on the bed. That's it. Without too much detail, without too much perfectness. You will felt that you will be there with tactile imagination. In first 20 times, simply you will be get to the body back with your shock, because you will finally say, this is happening, exactly what I told you. From the fear, from the sound hallucination, the mechanism, it's the same with all people, and you will tell to yourself something other, and that is, if this is everything that Dushan said, then the rest of it also is the same. And for the first time, you will know that this is real. It is not book. It is not one in billions book of astral projections that I have. When you read them, when billions of people read them, they achieve nothing. This is the real thing. And you will be so amazed first time that you will get out of it, that the whole next day when you return, and you will return very soon, because you will have so much anxiety and enthusiasm that you will be awake. There will be no chance to go deep in a dream, but you will sense trembling in your body, because you will be returned from electrical impulses, which your mind will very, very start to increase, and you will be returned from the state of your mind like never get used before. Your real mind working for the first time. You will see how different consciousness is in that time. Then, like this is different from the wake state. You will be superbly awake, not awake like you now, but 10 times better. You will have your mind capacity like some mixture of cocaine and some divine drug, which simply move your body to work 100 times faster and deeper. And we can prolong this. I will show you in a dream. This is only beginning. Get out in the city and celebrate. Go with the dinner, but without anybody else. Go with yourself, with your mind. Celebrating with yourself, with the best company of this world. Buy yourself a dinner and celebrate the first day of success. Not success in a lucid dream, because you will know that the whole other webinar that I will give you, it's also the part of the same reality, which will happen to you. And for the first time, you will know that all this is not just a fairy tale. It's a real thing. Now, when you find yourself on the floor, you need to stay in touch with the surface. Very important. Why? If you put your hand in the air and your hand will be in the start, you must fall with your palms on the floor. If you put them in the air, you don't feel the air. You will lose coordinates. Your mind will think that you refuse to go in a dream. So you will wake up. Never lose touch with surface in your dream in any way. It is your harbor and one of a main reason why people cannot fly in a lucid dream. Or they can, but flying in a lucid dream, it's very hard and very low time for attempting. If you fly enough in your lucid dream, very fast you will be awake. Because when you fly, you don't have connection with the surface. Because when you have connection with the surface, electrical impulses of coordination come to your mind, giving you harbor, like engraving your attention to information where you are. So the other part of a brain who wants you to be awake, to wake you up, cannot be in greater priority than information of your location. If you try to rub your hands all time around some object, you will have all time awareness, because each second your mind will give you another impression, another changing. You remember how changing location and movement is important in a dream, giving you each time different sensation about the objects. And this awareness will be opponent of awareness of the reactive mind wanting to crush your lucid dream and return to the body. So when you stop to having tactical sensation, you are returning to the body. But that is another part. I will tell you later why it is important. For now, please, with your hands will be your sonar. It will be your eyes in your lucid dream. Now you will not be able to see anything because you still don't have projection of your eyes. Your mind is not convinced that you are prepared for a dream. He is in doubt because now he had information that you press something, that you are on the floor, but he are not convinced. Are you on a real floor or a dream floor? And your mind don't want you to get the trouble, giving you dream much faster than you should have. You now need to touch very fast to go out of your body, but not just to raise your hands and go out of the door. No. You will be returned to the body. You must, touching your floor, come to your wall, never leaving the palms out of the surface, like you are a squid, like you are an animal who are like Spider-Man, touching the floors and getting to the walls. When you come to the walls, you are doing the same thing. You are palpating the walls, imagining, like, I don't know, the game the child have playing blind and seek, when they are trying to find and touching the surfaces. The same exactly, it's here. Go to the nearest wall, start to touch the surface. You will see sometimes the pictures. You will see something which can give you impression where you are in a room. So you can go outside of your apartment. Each second you are out and farther from your what we call body, which in fact don't exist. It is just projection of that you think that you are out of your body. It is a matter of seconds when your mind will give you something which you will remember until the rest of your life. The vision, which will be exactly like this. You will touching the blackness around you. You are going to the wall. You are going to the door. You are opening the door, never leaving the hands in the air, always by touching something, touching 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. In one moment, you will be there without any losing the consciousness. With full visual, you will be there in a world which you previously touched. In fact, you construct that world by touching. That's the real point. Now I give your mind a way so you can use that process firstly by touching and later experiencing. You will see later that you can change what you touch. You can imagine that you are touching a castle and you will be in that castle which you touch, and imagining that you want to touch something which is totally different than your room, and you will be teleported in that special place, not in your room, but what you touch. This is trick later we will talk when we will talk about the art of teleportation in lucid dream. Now there is a couple of things you need to know. Your mind in any second can give you impression that you are touching something very strange, because you know your room, you know where are light switches, you know where is the bookshelf, you know where are doors, windows, but in one way you will felt something very strange. Your mind will put that strange, unfamiliar object in your room so it can stop you. Why? Because instead that you are going away from that object, you will start to touch that object thinking what it is. You are doing exactly opposite of what I'm told you that you need to do. Just to go by touching. He's using your own strategy against you, so you can stop, not moving, be very careful what it is. Like a cat when you put a laser in front of them. And second, 2, 3, exploring this object, which is not be the part of your room, you will be returned to your body very, very fast. And you will know that your mind is tricking you. So, no matter, and you will see a much different objects in your room. You will touch human faces. It will be very horrific to touch human eyes. You will touch a children, sometimes dead bodies. Just go away by touching them. This is your mind doing its best to prolong for movement so you can go outside in the darkness. In that divine darkness which your mind cannot see what it is, because in fact it's full of light. And you will lose that light to color and put visual fascination in your dream by touching these contours. Sometimes it maybe need couple of seconds of touching. Sometimes you need a longer, maybe a minute. But mostly from the point that alarm awakes you until you find yourself in a room, in your apartment, or anywhere else. 2 minutes maximum, in worst cases. 100 seconds. So it is not so difficult than you think. It is not needing too much time. You must be very fast, because if you are slow, either you will go to your dream, totally losing your consciousness, or to be totally awake, if you are doing this with too much attention and too much expectation. Now, the main thing here is to using the beacons of touch so you can hold your attention. If you are putting your hands in the air, your attention will get lost. Your information, you remember the neurons which are bombing your consciousness, making you awake, will be so weak that your mind you will start to touch, and you will say, wonderful, Dusan is right. I'm very, very eager to tell him that I have success. And then you stop, you hear something, and you turn your back, and you saw a rabbit, and then you remember that your neighbor said to you that he's bought a new rabbit, and you see your neighbor, and you will be out in a dream. You will lose consciousness. Like Alice in effect, when following the rabbit and forgetting that it is out of her sister and that she's going deeper in a dream. The same mechanism. You need to stop this, to concentrate on only one thing, to get out of the body by touching without losing the surface of contours of your walls and your floor. First, you will get on the floor. Go to the nearest wall, and you can even build a route before you have attempt in which way you will go when you fall from your bed. Just imagining the route few times so you can remember it once you get out of the bed. When the vision appears, it will be one of the most magnificent moments in your life. Firstly, you will see with the eyes that you don't have physically, because you don't have eyes in this place. You have projection of your eyes from the brain, who is now working few times better and deeper than the wake mind. This is the real mind. This mind, it's not real. He's a part of a real world, but he's not real. So you will feel yourself, your smell, you touch yourself. Try to see who you are. You will be much different. Or better to say, you are now different than those Dushan who will be awakened in a dream. This will be a real one. And you will remember about your body, who is sleeping, as some younger brother, as inferior being, and you will be superior, awakened in that moment. There is only one trouble. From all this beauty of this place, you don't have time to dwell. You have only a couple of seconds, or in the best case, couple of minutes. No matter how hard you try to stay in a lucid dream, you will be returned. No matter, even after all these decades, there is no way I can fight with constant urge, and you will felt this urge, like urge when you are fucking and when you are reaching the orgasm and you don't want to come, But there is no way. There is no way you can stopping you from having an orgasm when you having the body movement. It is the same with a dream. As long as you are awake in a dream, there is a climax. After it, you will return to the body, and you will felt that urge, like urge for orgasm, very, very specific, which will increase every second, every moment in a dream, bringing you close to your body, close to your awakened. Now, it is very important to release everything under its own nature, so you can return to the body without losing the consciousness. One of the most magnificent happening of your spiritual life, keeping your dream, having a dream before you, and you will feel that everything starts to blur and to fall apart. It is wonderful happening. Everything starts to get very black, and in one moment, without losing any consciousness, you will stare in front of your closed eyelids, like turning off your TV. Magnificent. You will change the trance, and you will be again your old self. Dumb, stupid, slow, egoistic. But you will love your own self. And you will for the first time see that you are different. That the real one of you, it's not supposed to find in India or caves, monasteries, secret tantra temples with some rituals, secret fellowships, Mason lodges. No, it is inside of you all this time, very easily to be obtained. Sorry. So, there is one big obstacle, very big obstacle, and that is wanting to have vision when you felt on the ground, and you will not be able to see anything. It will be black. Don't expect to have visual dream because it will awake you. Just be stupid, pretend that you are very stupid, and you are going touching. Sorry, I just need a 5 minutes break, okay? My father is calling me because he's in hospital in heart condition. I need to see what it is. Okay, 5 minutes, sorry.